Hello everyone and welcome back to NT Coins World. In today's video, we're diving deep into two fascinating Washington quarter dollar coins, the 1993p and the 1997p Washington quarters. These coins, though seemingly ordinary at first glance, hold a wealth of history, rare varieties, and the potential for high market value that collectors and investors alike will find intriguing. So, grab your magnifying glass because we're about to explore the details and discover why these coins might just be worth far more than their face value. We'll be exploring their mintage numbers, examining rare errors, understanding their historical context, and of course, analyzing their potential value in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, you're going to want to stick around for this in-depth look into these two Washington quarters. Let's get started with the first coin in today's discussion, the 1993p Washington quarter. The 1993p Washington quarter is a piece of American history that, for many collectors, represents a key milestone in the ongoing series of Washington quarters. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the P mint mark, this coin was part of the larger series of quarters that began in 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. However, the 1993p quarter, like all coins, has its own unique place within the broader context of numismatics, with specific features and a story that make it worth exploring. The 1993p Washington quarter is part of the clad quarters series, meaning it was composed of a copper-nickel clad composition, which is standard for US quarters after 1965. In terms of design, it retains the classic obverse featuring a bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. The reverse of the coin features an eagle in flight, holding an olive branch and arrows, which has been part of the design since 1932 as well. This iconic reverse design was created by artist John Sinnott and symbolizes freedom and the strength of the United States. But what makes the 1993p Washington quarter especially interesting? For one, the coin's condition plays a critical role in its value. The quarter we're examining today is in fine condition, which means that the coin shows moderate wear but retains the essential details of both the obverse and reverse. In fine condition, you can expect the details of George Washington's bust to still be fairly well defined, with some noticeable wear on the highest points, especially around the cheek and the hairline. The mintage of the 1993p Washington quarter was substantial, with the Philadelphia Mint producing over 600 million of these quarters. This high mintage means that, for the most part, the coin is not particularly rare, but there are still specific factors that could push its value higher than you might expect. For example, a typical 1993p Washington quarter in fine condition might be worth around $3 to $5, but this can vary depending on a number of other factors, including the coin's luster, any imperfections, or signs of wear. However, there is still some significant potential for these coins when you start looking at error coins or those with rarer varieties. The 1993p Washington quarter can occasionally show off die cracks or other minting errors that make it a more valuable collector's item. Some error varieties, particularly those with double die obverses or off-center strikes, can command a price tag of up to $100 or more, depending on their condition and the specific nature of the error. A perfectly preserved example with an error could even fetch upwards of $300 to $500 on the open market. However, as we are specifically discussing a fine condition 1993p, we won't see these extreme values, but it's still important to note that the market for Washington quarters, especially those in better conditions or with rare errors, can fluctuate and bring surprising results for astute collectors. Now, before we dive into the second quarter of the day, let's take a quick look at the historical significance of the Washington quarter series as a whole. The series, which began in 1932, has evolved over the years with various changes in design, minting techniques, and even composition. It's a series that speaks to the evolution of American coinage, and each coin, from the 1932 through to the modern-day issues, tells a story of its time. With that in mind, let's move on to the next coin that has caught the attention of collectors, the 1997p Washington Quarter. The 1997p Washington Quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the familiar P Mint mark, is another entry in the Washington Quarter series. This coin, like the 1993p, is part of the larger sequence of clad quarters. The design of the 1997p Washington Quarter closely mirrors the classic look of the Washington Quarters that were first issued back in 1932. While the designs have remained consistent, the 1997p holds its own particular significance when you consider the economic and historical climate of the time. At the time of its release, the United States was undergoing a period of growth and prosperity, particularly in the mid-1990s. The economy was booming, and coins like the 1997p Washington Quarter were produced in vast quantities to keep up with demand in the marketplace. The total mintage of the 1997p Washington Quarter exceeded 1.3 billion coins, which makes it relatively abundant in the grand scheme of things. However, the coin's value is often determined by its condition, rarity, and the potential for minting errors. In fine condition, the 1997p Washington Quarter exhibits moderate wear. The bust of Washington on the obverse shows wear across the high points, with some of the finer details beginning to blur. Similarly, the reverse design, featuring the eagle, may exhibit wear in the wings and feathers. For a typical coin of this grade, the value generally hovers around the $3 to $5 mark, just like the 1993p Washington Quarter. However, the 1997p Washington Quarter also holds some interesting possibilities for collectors. Although the coin is not scarce in general circulation, certain varieties and errors have been discovered over the years that could elevate its market value. For instance, coins with noticeable die cracks, clashing errors, or off-center strikes are particularly interesting to collectors who specialize in Washington Quarters. These specific error types could see their value rise to anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on their severity and rarity. Coins in particularly well-preserved conditions, such as those with brilliant, uncirculated or near-mint qualities, could fetch prices ranging from $25 to $50 at auction. Much like the 1993p Washington Quarter, the 1997p Washington Quarter offers opportunities for collectors to find pieces that are more valuable than their face value if they know where to look. Rare error coins, or those with extraordinary preservation qualities, can easily surpass the expectations of the typical coin collector and may even bring in a hefty sum. To wrap up today's deep dive into the 1993p and 1997p Washington Quarters, it's clear that both coins, though not particularly rare in general circulation, hold significant potential in the numismatic world. Whether you're looking for pristine examples in fine condition or hoping to find that elusive minting error, these coins offer a fascinating glimpse into the history and artistry of American coinage. While the 1993p and 1997p Washington Quarters are not the rarest in terms of mintage, the right conditions or errors can lead to surprising returns on your investment. Always keep an eye out for double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks, as these are the types of flaws that can take a coin from being worth just a few dollars to potentially hundreds or even thousands. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video with your fellow collectors, and of course, subscribe to NT Coins World for more exciting content on rare coins, valuable varieties, and everything you need to know about building your collection. Until next time, keep searching for those hidden gems, and I'll see you in the next video.